I know it's showtime. Man, I done started a minute early. You know what time it is, guys. Welcome to Gun Gossip. It's going down tonight. Get ready, you all. Yes, sir. Y'all coming in hot already, man. We got 10 in the chats, running the numbers up. Share the live feed, guys. We have special guests in the background. They're smiling right now. Special guests, one in blue, one in black. It's going down, guys. All right. Let's see who's out here. We're going to do a quick roll call and get straight into it, guys. We got a lot to talk about tonight. All right, 15. We're going nothing but going up from here. Dumb Blonde, we appreciate you coming to the show today. Tech Lover, we see you out there in the streets. We really appreciate you coming through. Shanna Ewing, of course. You know what time it is with Shanna. All right. We have a new person out here. It looks like Ray8199. We appreciate you coming through and celebrating with us today. PSA in the house, y'all. Paul the Fifth. Tech Car and Gun Fanatics, guys. All right. Who else we have out here? Conversations with the Vet, Carol Lee. We see you out there. We appreciate you coming through. All right. Who else we have? Mr. Wiggins, the one and only Mr. Wiggins. Appreciate you coming through. Seriously. All right. Norman D, we also see you out there. And we really appreciate you coming to the show. Guys, we're about to jump into it pretty quick today. I'm going to go ahead and pull them into the chats right now. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Bam! Josiah is in the house. Bam! We have Justin in the house. Nanu, my friend. You know how they do it on Star Trek? You know, I'm not from this planet, so we have to do things like that, you know. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having us.
Good, man. I'm just relaxing, maxing and relaxing. Was ready for the show early. They know I'm late. I don't know why I'm late like that sometimes. I'm surprised I ain't fired from my regular job, Josiah. For real. I'm telling y'all. We're going to have a great show today. I am super duper excited that you all are here. We have 22 out there in the chats. Obviously, they came sliding through real quick tonight to hear what you guys have to say. I have a bunch of questions to ask you, and occasionally we're going to have individual people chime in with some questions. As long as they're good questions and stuff like that, I'll hand it off to you, Josiah, or Justin, or whoever you want to answer the question, which is fine. I appreciate you guys working alongside with me here at I'm Not From This Planet YouTube channel. So that's important to me. And it is a great relationship that I have with you guys. And I just want to tell you, I do appreciate that relationship.
Yeah, no problem. We appreciate you working with us, especially in the affiliate program.
Yes. And I'm loving that Palmetto State Armory little sign in the background. I'm going to have one of those FedEx or UPS.
Yeah. That's the last one. That's the last one left in the company. I stole it out of my brother's office. They some company sent us like 5 of them, and the cost to produce was like $300. We're like, no thanks, and those are the demos. So
I love that. Is it wall worthy? Can you hang it on the wall?
Oh yeah. It's basically styrofoam. Just styrofoam.
That's tight. I like that. All right, so we're about to go ahead and get into it, guys. Y'all get ready out there in those streets. Any questions? Now, it might be a large amount of questions coming in tonight, guys. So I'm going to try to get to as many as I can, okay? If you want your question to really stand out, send out a super chat or a super sticker or something like that, because I'm human and sometimes I miss those things. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rundown real quick with you guys. Again, we appreciate you coming through. Josiah, if you don't mind, would you and your colleague go ahead and introduce yourselves and let us know what role you both play for Palmetto State Armory? I don't know if you go first or Justin go first. Either one, it doesn't matter.
I'll go first. I'm affiliate marketing manager, also consumer relations manager. My main job, 90% of what I do is the affiliate side. Is we have over 1,000 affiliates who actively, that we work with, who are helping push traffic our way. And so I work with different YouTubers, different websites. That's mainly what I do.
Awesome. Justin, you up next, my boy.
Yeah, so I'm the brand manager at PSA, so I do a lot in the marketing content creation now is what we're starting to get into for Palmetto State Armory.
Very good. Justin, I've never spoke to you before, have I? I think
I
this
don't
is
think so.
yeah, this is our first time. I spoke with who was the young lady? It starts with the K that I've been recently.
Katie.
Katie, yeah.
Yep. She works in the affiliate side. Yep.
Yep. I've been recently speaking with her and things like that. You guys are great. All right. Now, number 2, would you tell us about how PSA was started? I know how it got started, but I want to see if this is really the end all be all and the real truth about what was going on. So go ahead and inform us, because some individuals on this channel, we have a lot of new people coming to the 2A community and they don't really know about those intricate details.
Sure, absolutely. I'll try and keep a long story as short as possible. But my brother, he had come back from a tour in Iraq. He was an accountant previous to going to Iraq, and then he had come back and he had a traumatic brain injury, and he was having a lot of problems concentrating. And I was he was in South Carolina, and I was up in Pennsylvania, and we were thinking about just we wanted to start a business, do something on our own, and so we had a lot of different ideas going through our mind, and we really saw a need for a gun, originally, a gun store, something in the gun industry. And what we ended up doing was starting with magazines and ammunition, just some decent priced, friendly folks out there selling ammunition, magazines, and one thing led to another. So we started off just with a website and then doing gun shows on the weekends. Our original 4 products were Black Dog machine mags, Magpul P mags. I think it was Lancer mags and Checkmate Industry mags. And then things just slowly expanded. And then when Obama got elected, we just got into ammunition and things took off. And so we were able to buy a 40,000 square foot building. And then the rest is kind of history. There's this cycle that happens. And before I get into the cycle, the way we got involved into, just besides retail, which is what we originally were trying to get into, we got into manufacturing by a company that we ordered Magpul P mags from accidentally sent us a case of buffer tubes instead of magazines. We were like, hey, this is a buffer tube. So we started buying different parts and being horizontally integrated. And so basically we bought, whether it be the lower receiver, the upper receiver, every part of the AR, we bought from other companies. And so we were manufacturing our own guns, but then when you would run into election cycles and different things that would happen in the world, that we would get caught in the bottleneck and we would get cut off from the manufacturing. So my brother said, screw it. Let's become vertically integrated. And that's where we are today. And that was the whole process that started it, was the vertical integration and doing everything ourselves. Being 95% of what we do is actually manufacturing in the background.
Awesome. So the retail stores that you were referring to, they did originate, right? They did originate in South Carolina, correct?
Correct. Yep. The first one we had was in Columbia. Then, it was Columbia. Then that was a small one. Then we had a large one in Columbia, and then one down in Beaufort, and then they just started to spring up from there.
Okay. So it's another question that I want to ask, but I don't want to ask it too early. How many locations do you have in South Carolina? That was something I didn't know about.
It's not just South Carolina. We're Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. So all together right now, including our outdoor range, we have 9 locations, about to open a 10th one coming here in the next, I'd say, about 8-9 months.
Awesome. That's super awesome. And going to the store, I was blown away. I was like, wow. And you know what really got me when I was there, Josiah and Justin? It was the freaking fishing store, retail store right across from it. I was like, Paul was like, they have a fishing store? He was confused. How did that get started?
That purely got started. We have very close to the Columbia store is Lake Murray. So you had people that were looking for fishing supplies. And so we were just like, we had that little store, the little fishing store used to be the corporate office. There probably is like 20 offices in there is what it used to be. And then they bought corporate office and then turned that into a fishing store. It was very successful. Now each store that we open has its own fishing section in it. If it's on the coast, it's saltwater. If it's inland, it's freshwater.
That is so sweet. And I was looking at some videos online on YouTube, and it looks like it's a pretty big store in itself too. You guys have pretty much probably everything you need to go fishing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. They're very large stores. And that the only one that's separate now is the Columbia store, just the way it was laid out. That was our first bigger store. Now all the other stores, especially on the coast, like our Myrtle Beach or Charleston, Somerville, they have huge sections within. It's in the same building.
Okay. All right. And which store, that you currently have with the plethora of stores that you have, which one actually grosses the most? Which one is the most successful?
They're all like we have some small ones that for their size are extremely successful, like our store down in Beaufort, Ridgeland area.
Mm-hmm.
As far as square footage and volume, because of where it's located is our Myrtle Beach store. It's right there in the tourist, right on Highway 17 in Myrtle Beach, and gets a lot of tourist traffic. And I mean, the amount of product in that store, I mean,
it's crazy.
All the stores, it's got the most. It's an amazing store. It's a beautiful store too. And for those who don't know, we are opening a museum in the next. It'll be this year, I believe. It's going to have the Han Solo blaster and a bunch of other guns there.
I love it. When I was at the store, man, you allowed me to record right before the store opened, and it was crazy how they bum rushed the store. Mm-hmm. Like, soon as that freaking door hit, Paul was like, oh, wow. Yep. And they just came in an influx of people. I was like, that is crazy insane.
Yep, it is. And I give props to the employees of the store. I worked in our retail locations for a few years, and it's not an easy job.
Yeah, and they were awesome. Your staff is phenomenal. Awesome people. We do have a super chat that came in real quick for you. And any one of you guys can answer this. Mr. Wiggins, a very, very good supporter of the channel. He said STG 44 anytime soon.
Justin, do you know?
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of testing on it right now. They're starting to build a couple and starting to get into endurance testing, but we don't have a timeline quite yet. There are a couple working versions of it though, but it's still in the pre-production testing phase.
Yeah, and there was like we mentioned at SHOT Show in some of the videos, there was one change that was made to the bolt, some things that HMG couldn't do that we have some engineers that are working on it, and we're able to make those changes. And so, but yeah, it's seeing some really good progress. Mm-hmm. And that's what people need to realize is that we're actually bringing it to it's going to happen. So we're making it 100% functional, and we're going to make sure it's working 100% before we release it. Mm.
All right. Very good question. And for individuals that may not know about the STG 44, what's the spec rundown on that? Like,
so it's a modern day STG 44 clone. There's going to be a couple differences from the original. It'll have HK triggers, like an HK trigger pack. The mags are a little different just because we need something that's common in the States, and something that can feed 5.56 and 7.62, as well as 300 blackout in the original round. So we're changing the mag design a little bit. But aside from that, it's nearly identical to an STG 44. Even the weight is like within a couple ounces.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And guys, if you do send a super chat up, make sure you include your question, right? Make sure you include your question with the donation so I can see it and then read it off to these guys here, and they'll be able to answer it to you to the best of their ability. Okay. All right. We're going to go to the next question here as far as some of the questions that I have. And we're going to get to the juicy stuff, y'all. Would you tell us about how, well, I already said that, my fault. Talk to us about how you advocate for the 2A community.
We've always been behind the scenes as far as advocating. We've spent a large amount of money through FRAC and fighting and doing amicus briefs for I believe we did two of them, if I'm not mistaken. One for the brace, and we're constantly in the background fighting. The last amicus brief that was to go
The
along
last
with.
one was for bump stocks. So we
That's right. Was that for Garland?
stock amicus
I'm
group.
drawing
Yep.
a blank.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then really from the ground up, we're fighting for the 2A as well. That's why they're priced the way they are. So we can put ARs into common use. That was kind of Jamin's whole idea behind it. So get as many out there as possible, so it's hard to ban. So I mean, everything we do is kind of have that mindset behind it. So that's why they're aggressively priced. We want everybody to be able to have one.
That is
legal. That is legal to have.
Right, in those states, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear people complaining online and things like that sometimes about, well, they're not able to get it out to this state and stuff like that. Well, you guys need to vote a little bit different. That's a whole nother story, but you know how that goes. And we don't want to break any laws when it comes to stuff like that. So, and that kind of segues into the next question. As far as what you were talking about, putting the firearms and that freedom into individuals' hands, how are you all able to keep the prices so low and still be extremely relevant in the industry? This is something that everybody, literally everybody, is talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Justin. Go.
Yeah. So the first thing is vertical integration. So almost every part, aside from maybe a spring in our guns, is made by us. So that cuts down on cost tremendously there. And then the second way is we sell everything direct. We're one of the only companies that does it. So you cut out the gun store markup. There's no markup in it. It's just we can sell it direct to you. We save a lot of money there. But really vertical integration, I mean, we make the bolts, we make the receivers, the handguards, the barrels, we do everything. So we can cut cost a lot there and control the quality as well. So we're not relying on a third-party vendor for quality. We can control our own quality. And it's just that's how we cut the price down.
And it applies to every platform too, even the daggers from slides to even anodizing different for the rails for the ARs to the AKs, making our own at our Ferris Engineering and tool. We make we're machining out the trunnions that are forged by another sister company we have in North Carolina. So just a lot of stuff.
Very good. Very good. Slim Diggity 91. We're going to get to your question in a few minutes, brother. Matter of fact, it's the next question coming up. Tell us a little bit about your purchase of AAC and other companies you have purchased or are associated with. I know some of them, but I'll just, let you elaborate on that.
Yeah. In the Remington bankruptcy, and Justin, I'll hit the few bullet points that I've got. And then if you add in whatever else you want to, but we purchased, it was all intellectual property. We purchased AAC suppressors, and they're tooled up again, and they are running. I believe that one is out of, we have sister companies, keep in mind, from Minnesota, Florida out to Alabama, and I believe that's where the suppressors are being manufactured by AAC. So we bought the intellectual property of H&R, which is being manufactured in Columbia, South Carolina. AAC suppressors. We do own Storm Lake barrels. We haven't resurrected them yet. And then AAC ammunition. That's just a different acronym. America's Ammunition Company. We were able to spin off and actually manufacture ammunition, which is a pretty cool one that we spun off of the AAC name as well. And we're actually manufacturing components and stuff too. If there's going to be some videos that are going to be coming out here in the next months that you'll actually be able to see. We're manufacturing the primers. We get it in giant lead ingots and it's being melted down.
I've seen that.
The copper, the brass, everything we're actually manufacturing. It's not just a little. It's not just assembling other people's, bullets, brass. We're actually taking there's a little tiny cup that you draw out and turns it into the brass. But anyway, long story short, we're actually manufacturing and assembling the components.
Awesome. Is it true if that lead sits there too long, it becomes non-usable? Like you can't use it or something with the density? I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it sits there, I don't know the exact period of time, but you have to use it within a certain period of time, or else it does. I don't know if it's the molecules or just the way it's a giant spool that it turns into. So, but after a certain period of time, it's unusable. But we make sure we use it in time.
Very good. All right. I have some questions out here, some that we're going to hit you with real quick. Quick questions. Slim Diggity 91 dropped this real quick since we're referring to ammo, right? He said, what about 7.62 by 39 ammo? I already know the answer on that, but I'm gonna let the guys answer that. Go ahead.
I was
So-
playing around with it the other day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So stay on social media this week. And
Yep, it's going down. Shall I tell them black tip? Does that have anything to do with it or not?
there might be something like that.
Okay. All right. We gonna keep that on the low. All right, here we go. We had another ammo question here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this, and I'll get to some of the other ones. G23, one of my favorite guys. He's a YouTuber too. Check him out. 545 by 39 ammo anytime soon.
So that's
That'll
next
be
after
right
that.
after.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be right after the 7.62 by 39.
Yeah.
Once that's out in full swing, then 5.45. Then once 5.45 is in full swing, then it'll be 54R, and those will be our 3 steel case lines, and then after that is going to be brass case 6.5 Grendel.
Very good. Awesome. I have a super chat here for you guys. Remember, prioritizing super chats, guys. So I'll try to answer the other questions too. But when these come in, how'd I have to answer them? Norman D said STG44 just ran across. Let me see. Let me post it up here. STG44 just ran across a whole stack of these in a depot at an IPSC place in Leipzig, or Nuremberg, whatever the hell that is, as well. About 100 of them, all original markings.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
There's sometimes I'm jealous of Europe. That's one of them. But yeah, I wish we could have them in the States, but that's why we're bringing ours out.
Yep.
All right, there we go. Let's see what Slim Diggity had to say. He said, I'll ask my question a little bit more professionally since it's been quiet a long time now that PSA has been saying that 7.62 by 39 ammo made by PSA is coming soon. That's been since last year.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. It's but sometimes if you want to get it right the first time, it's going to take a little bit longer.
That's right.
And so we're making sure we get it the right time. You don't want to mess around with ammo or anything. So we're going to get it right the first time. So once it's 100% ready, you'll see it. I don't mean that in a sarcastic fashion at all. I mean that literal. We're going to make sure it's right the first time.
That's right. We don't want accidents or liabilities. That can become a quick issue, and we don't like going to court, so we don't want that to be an issue. Let's see. We have another one that was dropped here. Somebody, what's up, Big Dre 357? We see you out there, brother. Yep.
Hey, Big Dre.
Yep, he's out there. Let's see. Gardy Garcia Vision. He dropped something here. He said PSA Dagger Saber Micro ?
Yeah, so we have a couple we're playing around with right now, and we're trying to finalize a couple things. The big saber dagger just dropped on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that went awesome. So yeah, we're working on the micro right now. It's probably going to be a couple months, but I don't have a date on it. We're trying to finalize everything we want to do to it and get everything right on it.
Awesome. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go with my questions here. If I see any other super chats, I'll answer those for you guys, or super stickers. Here we go. So, are you all thinking about, and this right here, I really hope this is a yes. Are you all thinking about expanding to other states? And also, are you considering Nashville, Tennessee? Come on now. Come on now. We need you out here.
I actually asked my brother this question last weekend. And so the goal is companies that we own. Like we own companies in North Carolina now, companies down in Florida. Anywhere that we naturally have our trucks running to is going to be a state that it's going to be very easy to, the truck's already running there. We can take the product back and forth, all that kind of stuff. So right now we're focusing on Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and I would foresee in the future Florida, but eventually, yes, we will be moving out west. Just going to take a little bit of time.
All right. When you say a little bit of time, can you drop some secrets?
Nothing soon.
Okay. My dreams were crushed. It's okay. I won't cry. All right. We have a Stovepipe TV out here. He asked a quick question here. And Gardy Garcia Vision, you're right. They've been killing it, bro. Been killing it. All right. Stovepipe TV said is 6.8 SPC on the horizon.
I don't know
wouldn't
for
count it
sure,
out.
but I would imagine in the
Yeah.
long-term future. Do you know, Justin?
I wouldn't count it out. It's not on the immediate
Hmm.
docket, but there's nothing we're going to shy away from.
We got all the core calibers are out. Now it's just getting the steel case and then going to different not oddball, I shouldn't say that, different niche calibers like Grendel, then maybe an S6.8. Who knows what's out there, but beyond the 6.5 Grendel and the steel case, we just don't know right now.
And speaking of shying away, I love how you guys handle trolls on your Instagram. Killing them. Killing them. They can't handle y'all over there. You know that, right?
Yeah.
They
Neil has a
cannot.
lot of fun with it.
I freaking love it, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Wiggins dropped a super chat for you guys. He said, do you plan on remaking other historic guns like the STG?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. The STG is just the beginning for our historic rifles. We do a lot through H&R already too. A lot of historic ARs. You can go over to H&R and get those, like your 723, the M16A1s. We have all that stuff already on the AR side, but certainly after we're done with the STG, we'll go into different older guns like that.
Nice. Very good. Let's see here. I have one for you. Let's talk about quality control here, because that is something online that a lot of people talk about. I'm not hating on any companies, but SIG dropped the ball in the past. I don't have to inform you what that is. You know what that is. And some other companies had some issues and things like this. Okay. I've been told that you all test fire each handgun and rifles with live fire. Is that true? And how does that work?
100% correct. Whether it's with the pistols, if it's a frame, they put a slide on it and they test fire to make sure it's good to go. If it's just a frame, if it's just a slide, they're going to put a frame on it. If it's a complete gun, obviously they're going to fire. Everything gets fired. That's pistols. For ARs and AKs, complete guns get fired. For ARs, all uppers get fired before they're shipped out. We 100% test fire our guns.
Yeah, I seen that in the video. I thought that was freaking outstanding. And as far as the guns that don't perform well, like what do you do with those?
Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, they'll go back to the QC department so they can start inspecting them to figure out what is wrong with them and why they're not performing well. And then if they figure out it's the way they're building them, each armorer has a stamp that goes on the gun so we can tell who built it. So if it's something in the build process, we'll talk to that guy and fix that situation. If it's something with the parts, like I say, we're all internal, so it's very easy to communicate and talk to the different companies and fix issues on the fly.
Super dope, man. Yeah. All right, we got a question here. Gardy Garcia Vision, welcome to the channel. We appreciate you coming through. Slide through on us anytime. He said, next question, team. I really wanted to ask because I'm extremely interested. Do you guys accept external franchising, external as in non-employee?
Unfortunately not. That's something my brother is not interested. They want to own the whole pipeline.
Facts. Love it. All right, we have another one here. Stovepipe TV. He said, will the Enhanced Saber BCG become available after the Enhanced Saber drops?
Yeah, it's something we'll sell individually.
There we go. All right, we're going to go ahead to another one of my questions until some more super chats or super stickers slide through. Right here, any date, this is going to be one of my favorites right here. When I saw this, I almost freaking lost my mind, all right? Any date set on the X57, and what inspired you to make a cost-effective, somewhat of a clone of the MP7 like that?
So we don't have any dates right now. The injection molding process is a lot more complicated than people think. So that timeline draws projects out quite a bit more. So if it happens this year, it would be very late this year. But I don't have any kind of timeline on it. I know the engineers are hard at work. They've got a couple of them that are running. But even when we get it perfect, it's going to take a while at the injection molding place just because that stuff takes a lot of time.
That's what I was figuring too. I told him, I said, when we were talking about it, I said, and people asking me about it, of course, I said, they're probably not going to have it out, right, until close to the end of the year, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Because go ahead, Josiah.
No, so people don't understand sometimes too, and this is just purely an education factor. If you have to make one change to that mold, that might be a 4 or 5 month process, and
Mm-hmm.
that's some of the stuff behind the scenes that happens that people don't realize. Like, it's taken like just like with a 7.62 by 39, the steel case. We were hoping it was going to be out by the end of 2023, but same type of thing. And you want to get it right, so there's little setbacks here and there, and but it's a positive thing. The X 5.7 is in production, but yeah, little things can throw it back a couple months.
Very good, very good. We have another question here. We appreciate you, Norman D, coming through. Make sure you come through 8 p.m. Central Time Sundays. Gun Gossip, don't miss it, man. Let's see the next question here. Oh, the Gun Alert guy. He posted right here. He said, "Did PSA acquire the OK Surefeed assets?"
No, that's a question I actually get a lot. No, we did not.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go to my next one until I see some more funnel through this comment feed here. What other guns / firearms are you all going to release for the remaining of 2024? Because I noticed you released the Crink. That went freaking berserk. Went crazy. Sold out super fast. You just released the Saber Daggers. That was outstanding. What's next for 2024?
So definitely the Super SAS is in line. The Saber Super SAS, which is a clone of the modern DMR rifle the Army's using. And then the 308 Jackal is coming out this year. I'm trying to think of what else is.
What about the 16-inch 300 Blackout Jackal?
Yep, 16-inch 300 Blackout Jackal.
Nasty.
We're working on the 9mm Jackal right now as well, but I don't have any timeline on that. But we've got a lot of cool projects in the pipeline that we just haven't announced yet either.
And there's a lot of stuff. Keep in mind that a lot of the poll that we had at SHOT Show, where we brought the public in and let them vote on their top 5 guns out of the 14, 15 that we had. Those guns are actively being worked on, so they might not be out this year, but because it takes the engineering process of some of these guns takes a while. So we just wanted to gauge interest first before we actively went in and started to engineer these guns and actually put them onto the market. So if you hear a gun that's not going to be out this year, it doesn't mean that we're not going to make it. It just means it's going to take a little bit longer.
Perfect. I heard through the grapevine, Rock 5.7, the smaller version, coming or no?
Yes.
Oh, snap. Oh, man. Any time frame?
Nope.
It's a new mold as well, so the timeline comes back in.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's see what they have out here, Gabe. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Here goes one. D's Beats, we appreciate you coming to the show. We really, truly do. Are you planning on releasing the banana painted PMags again soon?
Yeah, I saw some the other day. Not the 5.56 ones. I think it was the
AK ones or the AKVs.
AKV, I think, but I'm sure we'll be doing more runs of them.
Yeah,
just a matter of when.
Yeah. We paint all those in house, so that's a real easy thing to do.
Cerakoting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, awesome.
And if you take those banana mags, whatever one it is, and you pop off the floor plate, in there is going to have a signature by the guy. Jeff is a true artist. He puts his little signature on each magazine that he does.
That's crazy. I love it. All right, let's go to the next one here. G23, one of my good friends, he said, Ivan, is PSA going to release a micro dagger and 40 Smith & Wesson?
I have not heard micro dagger. We've played around with daggers and 40. We had one at SHOT Show to gauge some interest. So it's being worked on, but it didn't finish super great in the polls. So it's lower on the list of what our pistol engineers are working towards. But I haven't heard anything about a micro version of it.
Which one was the one that was like the very last in the polls that just didn't succeed?
I don't
Let me see if I can pull up the poll real quick.
Yeah, let them know, because I think they'll love to hear that.
It might have been the 40.
There we go. Let's see here.
Remember, guys, if you want your answer up front, before all the rest of these comments, drop a super chat or a super sticker, and I'll get to it. Okay.
All right. So if you don't mind me reading it off, all right. So number 1 was the X5.7. Number 2 was the 308 Jackal. Number 3 was the Vuk. Number 4 was the 570 pump shotgun. Number 6 was the Emerge Saber bolt gun. Number 7 was the Ulkin, the Jackal 5.56 bullpup. 8 was the Thumper, the 37 millimeter launcher. 8, if I'm counting correctly, was the 9 mil Jackal. 9, 10 millimeter dagger. 10 is the Saber Enhanced M4. 11 is the 22 LR dagger. Next, 45 dagger. And then the full-size L dagger.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for that. Big Dre 357, my big bro, he just dropped something. He said, what about the Vuk?
So the Vuk, Matt's working on that right now. I don't have a timeline on it. The plan is this year, but I haven't heard any updates. I need to start pestering Matt about it, I guess. I had the 308 Jackal the other day on the range, though, and that was a really good time.
I bet you that was a blast.
Yeah.
Bet you that was freaking awesome. All right, let's go to this next one. Pork and bean. Oh, man, y'all crazy. Pork and bean soul 812. He dropped something right here. He said, will you please build a 50 BMG rifle? Interesting.
I'm sure it's on a whiteboard somewhere throughout the company. There are hundreds of whiteboards that have all different kinds of ideas on there. So maybe by the time I retire, we might come out with it. I don't know. Nothing's off the list, but I haven't heard anything.
Awesome. All right. We got some props going out here for you guys. Big Dre 357 said, damn, y'all are going to hurt my pockets. LOL.
That's the goal. Credit card debt.
Exactly. Run it up. Oh, man, that was good. Nathan White dropped something. He said, hey there, everyone. Sorry for being late. You fired. No, that's my bro. I love him. Let's see. What was the other one I saw here? Let's see. It was something good. Oh, okay. Aaron Muhammad, we appreciate you coming to the show. He said, will a 33 round Glock mag fit into a micro dagger?
No, it won't fit in the micro. It'll fit in the compact dagger, though.
There you go.
Micro will accept some 43 mags.
There you go. All right. No, you didn't, Perry. He said I look like 21 Savage. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. You got that wrong, sir. No. All right. Let's see. Penny Pension Prepper, we appreciate you coming to the show. Really, we truly do. We have superstars in the house. Let's see here. I'm not giving up. Oh, Ron Wayne just dropped something. He said, I'm not giving up hope for the 22 dagger. That will be a fun one.
That the magazine for the 22 dagger will be out before the gun itself. They are actively working on that. My understanding is that is going to be just, what was the capacity in that 22? Was it 15 rounds?
It was 15 rounds, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll fit in a Glock's little
44.
44. Yeah. So you get extra capacity there. So that'll be out first, the magazine, but the 22 dagger is a form of priority.
Perfect. Yeah. I think that will be an extremely hot seller. I mean, I have so many 22 LR pistols, and now I'm kind of going into the 22 Magnum pistols too. People love that kind of stuff. Nice little plingers, fun to shoot. Yep. Yeah. Gardy Garcia dropped something else. We appreciate your questions, brother. Last question. Can you Glutz? He said Glutz. Can you guys please try to get more Panzer Arms EG 220 lever action shotguns, or make your own lever action shotguns?
I feel sure we have them on order through procurement. Yeah. We're working on a pump action shotgun, but no lever action has been mentioned yet.
All right, there we go. Let's slide to this next one here. They're coming in hot too, quick, man. Let's see. All right. Conversations with the vet, Carol Lee. It's like my sister. She just dropped something. She said, will you consider building a 6.5 by 284?
I'm not familiar with that round. Are you, Justin?
No, I'm about to hit a Google search.
Yeah, same here.
I wonder if there was a typo.
Let us know if that's the correct one, Carolee.
Oh, no, that's a looks like a long range round. Yeah.
That's more of a niche round. I would highly doubt it. That's a little bit more niche. We own our own barrel company, DC Machine. All of our nitride stainless steel barrels come out of one facility, and in order to make it at a price point that's affordable for everybody, we make a minimum of 1,000. Most usually at about 2,000. So this is more of a niche barrel. So we would leave this up to another manufacturer who is, usually they want these things to be. I mean, our barrels are very accurate, but a lot of your precision shooters are going to want these things to be extremely accurate. So it's going to be more expensive barrel, $500+ barrel, probably.
Perfect. Big Dre 357 said, "I do look like him." No, I don't, bro. I don't look like him. All right, Pork and Beans again. He said, "If not 50 BMG, then maybe a semi-auto 338."
We got a big caliber lover here.
Yeah,
I know.
he loves some big ones.
Yeah, maybe. Like I say, it's on a whiteboard somewhere, I'm sure, but it's not in the timeline yet.
It's a fun round for shooting the mile. That's what I hit the mile with last year. That was great.
Yeah.
All right. G23 dropped something here. He said, boat action 6mm ARC or PRC.
I talked to somebody. The 6mm arc, semi-automatic, I believe, is a possibility, but not in a bolt gun right now.
All right. G23 again dropped something. He said 22 TCM.
I haven't heard anything. Could be on a whiteboard.
All right. We have to go to the super chat super sticker, guys. It just came up. Warden dropped something. He said, right here, he said, "Will selector switches be modular to X57 at launch, like being able to add a binary trigger or different selector switches?"
Yeah, there will be a safety selector on the X57, is what I was told. I think that's what he's asking. But we won't offer a binary. That's not to say Franklin Arms or somebody is not working on a binary, but it wouldn't be something we would offer.
Okay, there you go, guys. Chicago Mike the Shooter dropped something. He said 6.5 by 284. Never heard of that.
We're not alone.
Mr. Wiggins dropped something. Very good friend. He said, "Are you concerned about anti-2A lawyers trying to sidestep PLCAA in light of the new Chicago lawsuit against Glock?" Interesting. That was a good one.
Yeah, to be honest with you, that's something that I need to look into, is that lawsuit. I don't know much about it. I've heard of it, but I haven't done much research on it yet. I've been so busy right now. I do what we call, quote unquote, tours of PSA, where we go to different facilities, and I've been focusing on that and doing some training of new employees. So honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Very good, Josiah. Thank you. Matthew B., we appreciate you coming to the show, brother. We appreciate it. He dropped something. He said left-handed bolt action or fully ambidextrous models.
Left-handed will be in the future, yes. I'm not sure that you can make a fully ambidextrous. I don't think anybody has so far. But yeah, left-handed will be in the future for sure.
All right, let's see here. I'm getting a little cotton mouth. Here we go. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go to the next one that I had here. Tell us a little bit about the Saber Dagger details. Just the specs, I guess, plus upgrades, and explain the TIN titanium nitride coating to us. Some people don't know about that kind of stuff.
So the Saber Dagger, it has a couple different upgrades. They all come stippled from the factory, which is really a nice touch. Some of them are painted, some of them aren't. Up top, you have a Zafiri Precision is the one we partnered with for the slides and the barrels. They're all RMR cut from the factory. Some of them are going to have ports and stuff. The real beauty of the Saber Daggers is you get this fully upgraded pistol that still carries a lifetime warranty. So you could purchase a compact and buy all your own parts, but your warranty wouldn't apply to all the parts. Now, when you purchase the Saber Dagger, everything's covered under our lifetime warranty. So if anything ever happens, you're covered and protected. The tin coating you mentioned, that is just a titanium nitride, like you said, but it makes that gold finish, which everybody likes, but it's also a lot slicker than just standard nitriding.
Okay, and does it have any other benefits other than that?
I don't I don't think so. I'm not that big into it to know, but
Okay.
I know it's a lot slicker. It's a lot easier to clean. It stays a little more lubricated when you lubricate it. But I don't think there's any accuracy benefits directly. I wouldn't
Oh,
see them anyways because I'm not a great pistol shot.
all right.
I'm not out shooting any pistols.
Well, people don't realize how hard it is actually to shoot with pistols.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you don't shoot like a rifle, okay, that's a different story. But when you get out there with a pistol, and especially like I've been telling them, if something is actually moving and you're trying to hit it, that's a
Yeah.
whole different story. So you really have to get out there and practice, especially with different type of firearms and pistols.
100%. 100%. And you're not going to outshoot a pistol barrel. Most people won't.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. CBN, we appreciate you coming to the show. He said Beretta has an ambidextrous bolt gun now.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Stovepipe TV dropped something. He said, has PSA ever thought about making a service similar to Silencer Shop to complete forms 1S and 4S?
I've heard it briefly mentioned, but I don't have any insider knowledge of anything active.
Yeah. I don't either. I think we work with Silencer Shop in the stores to offer that service, but I don't think we're working on anything to compete with that.
Yeah, Wade's been talked about, but I think, like Justin said, I think we ended up just using Silencer Shop.
Awesome. And then also, speaking of the daggers, with the previous conversations we were conversing with and stuff like that, did this one blow out the first dagger sales?
They were gone within 12 minutes.
That is crazy, man. And people are still loving the old dagger model still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They
we saw
still-
a ton of those.
Yeah. They still love them. I mean, they sell like hotcakes, man. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. Matthew B just dropped something here. Oh, no, sorry. Conversations with the Vet dropped something here. She said, how have the recent Supreme Court rulings affected your business, and what's your best-selling firearm?
Do you want to speak on that?
That's a good question.
I mean, best-selling firearm. I'm trying to be honest with you. It's 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. It's a Sunday. I've been working, so I'm trying to think. I'm trying to rack my brain as far as the most recent Supreme Court ruling. Wasn't that that was to overturn? That was the bump stock thing, correct? Wasn't that the
bump
most recent?
stocks or pistol braces?
Yeah, I mean bump stocks don't affect us. We've never gotten into those really, but the pistol braces, that it did help increase sales. We made guns like the AKP
Braces.
AKV, the braces. That allowed us to sell those again with the overturning of that. So that was excellent. So some guns that we're offering purely in a rifle version that are more fun to shoot in the pistol version, we're able to offer. And what was the second part of that question again?
Our best selling. Our best selling is our ARs for sure. That's our bread and butter. We're able to manufacture about 2,500 a day, and that's.
I think she wanted like a specific model, I guess.
Oh, specific model.
Well, we really, to be honest, it's impossible to do that because the way we operate is a little bit on the fly. We've got 2 meetings a day, and in those meetings with all these sister companies that we have, so at the 9 o'clock meeting, they're like, all right, and other times they're like, all right, what do you have as far as barrels over at DC? What do you have as far as lowers? And they and some SKUs are, we have every day that are in stock, and other times, like, hey, we've got all these parts. We can make this SKU and sell this. So you're using 100% of your inventory on an everyday basis.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we're always creating new SKUs and stuff.
If I had to nail it down to a product, it would probably be the Freedom Rifles, which is just the basic AR.
Interesting.
They retail for around 400. So, and they're always in stock, and it's just people like to buy them to have them, and if you need an AR, that's what the basic one to get.
All right, we have a super chat that just came in hot. I have to answer that, guys, before the other questions. Warden dropped something. He said, also, finally, selector fire uppers for PSA saber daggers like the Glock 18C. Win, I'll buy 50.
At the advice of our attorneys, no comment.
There you go. There you go. There you have it, guys. All right, Matthew B, one of my good friends right here, guys. And send up some prayers for Matthew, guys. He had a situation happen and he's working through it now. He's feeling a lot better and stuff like that. So my prayers go to you, man. Most definitely. You know, I know what's going on, but I'm not going to put it out there. So Matthew dropped something. He said, okay, call me weird. What about a single shot rifle or shotgun? Think of those old HR models. I'm poking ideas.
Yeah, I mean, those are a lot of those old H&R guns were made in China, so they could offer them for like, you know, 100, 150 bucks and stuff. So it's not completely outside of the question. It's just, it's nothing in the near future. I'm sure it's on a whiteboard, you know, because we're vertically integrated. Maybe we could do something, but it's nothing that I know of that's going to happen in the near future.
All right, awesome. Mr. Wiggins said they haven't ruled on bump stocks yet. All right, let's see. Chris from the 740, awesome guy, guys. I don't know if you're familiarized with him. He has a great YouTube channel. This dude is dope to me. He said, I appreciate PSA's email system. I wish all my affiliates had the streamlined communication that PSA has. Facts. I mean, I'm able to capitalize in so many different ways with those emails because we see them first. And then we can inform, right, our subscribers about the deals and offers that you guys have in an efficient and timely manner. And I'm able to do that real quick. I'll let you guys, you know, yeah.
Yeah, we just for our affiliate program, we send out 3 or 4 products twice. Well, let me take the bigger picture first. We send out 2 emails a day, and everybody who's watching probably gets those emails. But about a half hour before those emails go out, we let our affiliates know, like, hey, here's some cool products at good prices that are coming out that your users might want to pick. You know, that you might want to, if this is in your niche, to suggest that they purchase and stuff. And so it kind of gives you heads up as to what's coming up in the next email. But those emails really are it's a huge email list and brings in a lot of traffic, and giving the heads up to affiliates brings in a ton of traffic as well.
It is a beautiful thing, I tell you that. Slim Diggy 91, he just dropped a super chat. We totally appreciate that, brother. That helps fuel this channel and move forward with the endeavors, especially with 2A and regular people. So right here, it says, what's PSA's recommendation on tightness when installing a muzzle brake on the GF5? My slant brake came loose. I installed the tank brace and it has some wiggle. I've heard this should be tight/flush.
So it would depend on which muzzle device you have on the AK, because the slant brake should have been retained. There's a retaining button in the front of your front sight base on your AK on it. If it's a standard GF5, that should retain the slant brake. So if the muzzle device is able to interact with that, you just need to get it as tight as you can, and as long as it's square, and then interfacing with that detent, and that should hold it in place. It shouldn't be extremely tight. You should worry more about the alignment of it and the detent.
Awesome. We have 8 minutes left, guys, and we are going to have to cut it. We have to respect these guys' times because they are extremely busy. I'm surprised they even came to the show, to be honest. So I'm going to, let's see. We don't have any super chats or super stickers. So I'm going to go to the next one here. We have D's Beats. He dropped something. He said the VOOC was labeled as coming in 9x39. Are y'all planning on making 9x39?
Yeah. Once the VOOC comes out, we will 100% make a round to support the caliber. But that's a ways down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Matthew B said, y'all can go ahead and spill the beans. All right. Nathan White. I love this brother right here. He said, how about an AKV and 45 ACP?
I've been asked about it a lot. And I've spoke to the engineers. I think it's not something that's on the table right now because it's going to be a complete redesign, because you have to have a locking bolt face for a 45 ACP. It can't be direct blowback like the 9mm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little more work in that than some people realize. So I wouldn't say never, but not right now.
Roger that. Let's see. Okay. We have no super chat, no super stickers. We have Nathan White. No, sorry. Matthew B. It's a lot of them. Matthew B said, okay, what would the likelihood of PSA making either an M1A/M14 or part for them?
I think what will be more likely is H&R made the, what did they make? It wasn't the M1A. It was the, not the M1 carbine. What's the one I'm thinking? Justin, which one did H&R actually manufacture?
I don't know.
What's another style? I'm drawing a blank here.
It's okay, Joseph. I'm sleepy too.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, they made it. They made M1 Grands at one point.
M1 Garand, that's what it is. That is more of a likelihood than an M1A M14. I know my brother is when he acquired H&R, that was one of his big things. It's a long-term project, but M1 Garand, that is a likelihood in the long-term future, but and not necessarily an M1A or an M14.
Awesome. Penny Pension Prepper dropped something for you guys. He said, PSA, with there being more lefties in the industry than ever, right? Than ever. Are you guys going to start showing us lefties some love? That's a good one.
I think in the bold action side, that's where more love will be shown. I would, Justin, do you know in the, as far as the Saber line, aren't we offering?
I wouldn't say never on a left-handed upper. We've started offering ambidextrous everything on a lot of our guns, especially the Sabers. They all get ambidextrous safeties and bolt catches.
I was about to say that, yeah.
You're still getting a little gas in your face if you're a lefty, but it's a lot better than having to buy those parts once you buy a rifle. But I haven't seen anything as far as like parts coming in to build left-handed uppers. That's not something I think that's on the direct timeline right now.
Yeah, and part of it has to do with there's other companies that deal with more niche markets, and that's where we would leave the left-handed stuff too, as far as ARs and whatnot, because our focus is to spread freedom. Any law-abiding citizen who wants to own a firearm at a good price, we want to provide that, and in doing so, we're going to have to focus on what 90% of America is, and unfortunately that's right-handed. And that's not to say that there aren't some left-handed components like on Sabers that we do, but that's basically it.
So did you guys actually look at, I guess, statistics or something out there when it came to the business decision to do that and say, okay, this makes a better business decision to roll them out that way?
To be honest with you, I would admit I'm not part of that whatsoever. Justin and I deal, marketing and branding, and but I imagine that is a factor that would go into it. Yeah, is what percentage of the population is left-handed, and of that left-handed population, how many are gun loving? Yeah, so there is market research, but I'm not privy to that information.
Very good. Guys, we're almost done here. We have 3 minutes. If you have a question, you better make it hot and quick. JST hobbies _1 just dropped something. He said, under which political party, Democrat or Republican, has your business been the most successful? That's interesting because both sides buy guns. You have some liberals that may not say that they do, but I know that they do because I grew up in a liberal community. So, but go ahead.
Yeah. It's successful under, whether it's Democrat or Republican, you've got threats. Democrat or Republican, you always have threats of lawsuits. Whether like with Trump and the whole bump stock thing, and and the brace thing, there was he talked about that. Biden wants to ban ARs and stuff. So there's always, no matter what, Democrat, Republican, or whoever, sometimes Democrats and Republicans are both sides of the same coin. That's a different topic, but
different topic.
But there's always, no matter what type of administration you're running into, when you're dealing with the government, there's always going to be some type of something that's going to fuel the fire. and even not necessarily just government things. There's things that happen outside the government that do fuel fires, in the firearms industry, things that happen throughout the world. World events do affect our sales as well.
All right. Very well said. Big Dre 357 dropped something. He said 10 millimeter Jackal would be nice to match my 10 millimeter Admiral.
Maybe after the 9mm Jackal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Joe Vacuta Scientist, we see you out there, brother. You came in late, man. I know you would have had some great questions, and we're about to close out in 1 minute here, guys. Here goes another question. Warren Fowler, I appreciate seeing you, brother. He said, I would like to know if they're going to offer the Glock 44 with the threaded barrel, a 1,000 rounds of 22 LR for $379.99 anytime soon. Well, where do I have to wait for Black Friday? Why do I have to?
I don't know about that one. You have to keep in mind on some of that stuff, we have to wait for the okay from Glock. I mean, we're still subject to some of the map pricing and stuff like that. So that's not completely in our control on some of that stuff.
Yep.
We'd love to give it to you for that price, but sometimes it's out of our hands.
There we go. I want to thank you guys for tonight. It is 9 a.m. This was outstanding. I think they had some great questions. Guys, if you have any other questions, make sure you get in contact with me on Instagram. I'll try to shoot it to Justin or Josiah or anything like that. If you have any type of questions and things like that, guys, we really, truly appreciate you all coming through. You were outstanding. The numbers look pretty damn good tonight. And this was awesome. Yeah, Big Dre 357. It's an hour a day time, man. We got to respect that. So we're running it out. Y'all know how we do on this channel, though. We like to get a little ratchet, Josiah. So we're going to bring the music back. All right, guys? All right, Josiah. We appreciate you coming through, brother Justin. We appreciate you coming through also, guys. Make sure you tune in 8 p.m. Central Time. Gun Gossip on Sunday, guys. Don't miss it. PSA first time coming to the channel. We'll revisit this another time. Holler at you guys.